This? Oh, this is just my shirt for the band Citizen, their first album, Youth. What's up guys, my name is Hayden Radcliffe and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking all about the album Youth by Citizen. Right from when I woke up this morning, this album has just been on my mind. So thank God I had a shirt for this album too. I wore that and I went to church today, and while I was in church, I actually had a notebook with me and I started to write down stuff about the album in my notebook. Let's see. Here we go. So I decided to draw something about the album. So this is it. We've got Citizen Youth. Tried to draw it as good as I could. I wrote out all 10 songs on the album. And now I want to talk about it with you. Youth by Citizen is one of the most impactful, most important albums by those type of bands from the early 2010s that are like this new wave of emo and grunge and like shoegaze, reverb drenched, just makes you kind of think. Bands like Citizen and Turnover especially. And it just feels like this album is like a big deal to a lot of people. Even though this album might not be super well known, it's well known in the emo community for sure. I think it holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts. And I would really love to know, if you're watching and you like this album, why this album resonates with you so much if it does. What about it makes it special? I feel like it goes beyond just the songs. I feel like there's more to it. I think it's also just about like the time that it released, and I'm sure it also has to do with their song The Night I Drove Alone. And I feel like Matt's vocals on this song just kind of make you stop what you're doing and just stand there or sit there and just listen. And I think that's really cool. So I've been thinking about what I want to say for this album today, and I think I want to just kind of go over some of the facts about this album that I learned by doing some research, and then just talk about each song and maybe share some stories that I have with this album. And by the way, if you like content like this, I would love it if you subscribe to this channel, because there will be more content like this coming at you every single week. I feel like when this album came out, it was just a very pivotal time in that early 2010s grunge elements or shoegaze, and kind of just became its own new thing. When I think of Citizen, I tend to think of bands like Turnover, Title Fight. This album kind of captures this feeling of like adolescent teen angst, and also the idea of coming of age. And I really love coming of age movies. I love coming of age stories. So an album about coming of age topics is super cool too. I love that. I think if I were to describe the genre of this album to someone, I'd call it melodic emo. This album was released on Run for Cover Records, and it's produced by a guy named Will Yip. And I feel like if you are a fan of emo music from the 2010s at all, then you definitely know who Will Yip is. Will Yip has worked with a lot of emo bands from the early 2010s, like Turnover and Title Fight. Maybe that's why they sound kind of similar, honestly, but really I feel like Will Yip is the main responsibility for kind of capturing this new sound entering the early 2010s for this melodic emo kind of shoegazy type of music. Also, I went to an audio engineering school for the last year, so now I understand a lot better what type of things Will Yip really does, and I have a lot more respect for the producer, the engineer, the mixing engineer, the mastering engineer. There's a lot that goes into it. So props to Will Yip for getting such a great sound for this album. When this album came out in 2013, I was 11, so I definitely did not know about this album when it came out. I didn't discover it until like 2019, 2020, but it definitely does hold a special place in my heart too. I love the album cover artwork. I think it's really cool with the flowers, and something about it, like I'm just telling you, it just like creates this special cathartic feeling inside when I see it. It feels nostalgic. When Citizen released this album, then they went on tour on the Suppy Nation tour, which I want to say brings so many memories back, but I didn't even know about this type of music back then, but it just does because I know about all these bands now. Yeah, so they toured with The Story So Far and Man Overboard back then. That would have been such a cool tour to see. And they've also gone on tours with The Story So Far and Turnover before, and I love the idea of going to see that tour too. And I actually just saw Citizen for the very first time back in May. They played here at the Marathon Music Works in Nashville, and they opened for Turnover on their Peripheral Vision 10-year anniversary tour. So the fact that I got to see Turnover and Citizen together in 2025 made me so happy, and it was so cool to finally get to do that. Now, I wanted to go through each song track by track and just kind of talk about my experience with the song and share a quote from the song that kind of resonates with me. So the first song on this album is called Roam the Room. And it starts off with these heavy hitting drums and that heavy guitar. It kind of just makes you feel like, okay, this is going to be aggressive. This is going to be loud. Like, let's see what's going on with this album. And then it starts and Matt's vocals come in. I feel like the chorus is really catchy for this song. It's not my favorite song on the album, but it is pretty good. But honestly, when I compare the rest of the songs to this first track, I feel like I don't prefer how heavy the album starts. I'm personally more of a fan when an album starts pretty quietly and then slowly builds up into something louder. And for this album, it just starts off really heavy. And I would just rather have it be something softer. I feel like it's a nicer, gentler way to start an album and get the listener ready, because they probably haven't been listening to music right before this album starts. So their ears go from hearing pretty much silence to all of a sudden a lot of noise, and I don't always like that. It kind of feels like a jump scare. This is one of my favorite songs on the album. I really love like the melody and the tempo of this song. I feel like when that guitar and the bass start up right at the very beginning of the song, it just makes you kind of like bob your head up and down, and you can just really get into it. I think it's super fun. Okay, the third song on the album is my favorite song on Youth. It's called The Summer. This song gives me a lot of emotions. It makes me feel a lot of things. It makes me think of former relationships that I've been in. It makes me think of summer memories. It makes me think of being on the beach and standing there in the dark looking up at the sky and the clouds and listening to the music and thinking about my life and if I'm ever gonna find the right person for me. I love the opening verse. I love the whole song. I love the chorus. It's a very emotionally cathartic song for me. And the lines I want to share from the song are, I watched you burn. I just love that opening line. And then, if I could cut you once, I'd see you right through.
I watched you burn.
And then next is their song Sleep. I feel like this one has the potential to get overlooked a little bit on the album, but I really like it a lot. It feels a little shoegazy to me, just kind of feels like it has a lot of reverb. The essence of sleep kind of makes me think of reverb and shoegaze and just like drifting away into an ethereal place. I think it's pretty cool, and I like the song a lot. And the line I want to share is, do you sleep anymore? Their fifth song, halfway through the album, is How Does It Feel? This one also brings me some shoegazy, kind of reverb, kind of dreamy vibes, and I like that a lot. I really like Matt's vocals during this song on the verses. It's a pretty good song. And the lyric I want to share is, how does it feel to be all that you are? It makes you think about yourself and what you really want to be in your life. Next up is their biggest hit so far, The Night I Drove Alone. I love the part of the song where Matt's talking about how he should have crashed the car. I feel like it just makes you think of a ton of emotions. I have this one memory of this song a few years ago where I was talking to this girl and she said how she was driving home alone, and then I sent her this song because I thought it was funny, because I try and do this thing where I correlate a lot of my life to titles of songs that I know. So when something happens in my life that makes me think of a song title, I'll try and share that song with the other person. So in this case, I sent her The Night I Drove Alone. It was pretty funny to me. But yeah, this song means a lot to a lot of people. His vocals, I just feel like they stop you in place. You know, when he yells about how he should have crashed the car, it just makes you stop and think, and it's like, damn, like, it just packs a punch emotionally. So I think this is a really great song.
And I should have crashed the car.
Next up, Speaking with a Ghost. This was a song I actually kind of forgot about until I revisited this whole album today, and I can't believe how long it took me to realize that this song is awesome. I really, really love the chorus, and the song also feels coming of age to me, so I really like it a lot. And the line I want to use is, and I went and spent that week trying to find you out. Every night it feels the same. just makes me think of, you know, going somewhere, traveling somewhere far away just for a girl to try and find her if you lost her, and then not really getting anywhere when you're going to do that. Next up is Your Head Got Misplaced. To me, when I heard this song, it feels pretty upbeat, fun, and pop punky, and honestly, I love that, and it made me want to like dance to this song. So this is one of my top 5 favorite songs on the album. I think this is a really fun one. And I think it's also easy to get overlooked. And my line from the song is, "You should keep quiet looking over your shoulder." That really brings like a good visual to my mind, and I like it a lot. Their 9th song on the album is Sick and Impatient. I feel like this song tells a good story with the lyrics, and then it goes into that chorus with him just yelling about how he's sick and impatient. And the final track on this album is their song Drawn Out. Now, a funny story about the last song and this song today. Earlier today, I was downstairs and I was letting my dogs back inside the house, and they came running through the hallway, and one of the dogs pushed the other dog into this thing I have on the ground that holds my video game consoles, including my PlayStation 5, which was propped up like this. It got bumped, and then the PS5 wobbled and it fell over. And right when the console was falling over, I saw it, and I did like a Hail Mary fight or flight, like jump to try and save it. I did manage to actually catch it, and I grabbed it, but I ran into the wall and I smashed my thumb, and then I like cradled my PS5 like a baby as I fell onto the ground. The PS5 is safe, dogs are fine too, but it happened right when the transition was happening from Sick and Impatient into Drawn Out. And then after it happened, I was just laying on the floor and I was kind of in pain, and I was just staring up at the ceiling, and I was hearing the intro to Drawn Out. And it just created this like very strong visual memory in my mind of like, well, I'm never gonna forget this moment. And I thought that was really cool, actually. Like, I love when I create memories like that in my brain because it helps me remember things better. A lyric I want to share would be, "You walk outside in a hurry before I get home in the morning." I feel like this makes me think of a girl running outside, and like her breath, it's cold outside, and her breath, that chill, it's showing the oxygen coming out of her mouth. You know, you just kind of picture like an early morning, and that's why it's so cold. I really like that type of visual. So that is all 10 songs on the album Youth by Citizen, and I really do love this album. I wish that I owned it on CD or vinyl, and I should definitely get it soon. Hopefully I will. This is my favorite album by Citizen, but I'm also happy to talk about their other albums, even though I don't love them nearly as much. They still have some great songs on each of them, and it would be a good opportunity for me to really give the other albums more of a fair shot. So if you like this video and you want to see me talk about their other albums, let me know in the comments down below. So thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and I hope to see you in my next video. Peace out, guys.